Hey everybody, welcome back to Ha Man's Advice Forum. I am the Ha Man, and I wanted to go over one of the reasons why you would have haters. And this is probably one of the most heartbreaking reasons why you would have haters. And I kind of relate to this early on in my life, especially when I was almost dead, and I think I was devastated when nobody did anything for me. But not only that, once I nursed myself back to health, it almost felt like people were angry at me. I talked about like the juicing and the organic foods, and people just didn't want to see me hear it. And it seems like for some reason when I talk about those things, it was like an attack on them. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was almost dead. And then, I had to pull out my big guns and say, you know what? I don't understand why you guys are like angry at the things I say. You guys didn't do shit for me when I was almost dead. And people, of course, that didn't make things better because that's an attack on their ego because people want to think of highly of themselves without doing anything. And I talk about this in my previous videos. And not all people are like that, but a lot of people are, unfortunately. So there's this article I read called Why You Have Haters Even If You Aren't an Asshole. And it's on a website called edlatimore.com. So I think that's the name of the author. And he goes on various reasons about why you have haters. But I think this fourth reason that he has, and I'm going to put a link to the article below, is the most interesting. So the fourth reason is you have haters because you weren't supposed to become anything. So he says, if your life is on a downward spiral, people will write you off. Oops, excuse me. I don't condemn this because there's no point in going down with a sinking ship if the captain is determined to destroy it. If you manage to turn things around after the ship's been abandoned, some interesting things happen. Some people will be angry that you didn't drown. So let me repeat that again. Some people will be angry that you did not drown. They'll hate you that you've acquired a better life. You were supposed to be nothing. Instead, you became something. This sounds similar to the surpass people motivation for hate, and that's talking about a previous reason why people hate you. The difference is you don't have to surpass the person. You don't need to fly higher. You just have to not crash. These toxic personalities only feel satisfied when others suffer. If you come back to life after being left for dead, they need a narrative to explain why they abandoned you. Rather than explain that you're a mess and wish you well, you have to remain the bad guy. It's always easier to hate the bad guy. Right. And that's just kind of how I felt back in my early 20s. And I did nurse myself back to health, and I'm not dead, But I remember I had those vivid experiences where I remember like thinking, like, I think I'm going to die tomorrow. Right. And just people just left me for dead and didn't do anything for me. And then, when I discovered like the juicing and all that and the stuff I've talked about before, nursing myself back to health and talk about the organic foods and we can't eat like fast foods and shit and people just really like hating on me and it was just like, why, did you want me to die? And it really felt like that to me. And of course, if the people who've hurt me in my life listen to me, of course they're going to deny it because it's because of their ego, right? Like, I don't wish any harm on most people, and most people I know that now in their 30s are suffering from poor health. They're either overweight, they have some sort of weird disease that's somehow, quote, mysterious, yet they're still consuming like Chick-fil-A and stuff. And, I try to talk them into like, adopting a better lifestyle. And it's just like, why would I do that? But then, then they complain, oh, my health is so bad. And you're supposed to feel sorry for them. And it's like, what the you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, one of the reasons why you will have haters is just because people will abandon you. And if you come back to life, or if you, what do you call it? If you turn your life around, well, they need to now make up a story that why they abandoned you. They need a narrative, instead of saying, man, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been a better friend, which is what I think a normal, rational, sane person would do. They need to hate on you because of their ego, they don't want to ever think that they're the bad guy, right? So this is the Ha Man here again with another video. If you have any thoughts, comments, leave them below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.